Hello everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Ghost Layers Report. I'm here as always, Ryan. It appears that Kepco, otherwise known as the Kansai Electric Power Company, has decided to oppose all shareholder proposals. Kansai Electric Power has expressed its intention to oppose all shareholder proposals, including ones calling for the utility to end nuclear power generation. The notice was sent out to all shareholders ahead of the scheduled meeting for June 27th. The power company said that there are currently 28 proposals which will be presented, and they fully intend to resist all proposals. Now this is a bit interesting, considering that the Osaka municipal government, who has a 9.4% stake in the company, came up with 10 of the 28 proposals. Most importantly, those proposals include to scrap all of its nuclear power plants as soon as possible, separate its power generation and distribution operations, half the number of its current board members, and most importantly, to stop hiring retired bureaucrats as highly paid senior officials, a practice which has been common in Japan for decades. The Japanese word for this practice is amakudari, which in English means descent from heaven. What makes this situation even more interesting is when we consider the recent statements made by Osaka Mayor and the power broker of Osaka, Mr. Hashimoto. Now, we reported on this earlier that he did cave in to corporate lobbying pressure, as well as the central government in Tokyo, to restart the reactors in Oi, which continues to get pressure to not restart them, despite Hashimoto's seal of approval and the Oi City Council approval. The resistance now comes from the surrounding communities in that area. So that is an ongoing fight, which there will be another video coming soon as an update on that issue. But let's focus a bit more on Mr. Hashimoto. It appears that he has been hedging his bets. Now, Hashimoto has been notorious for not only resisting Tokyo, but at times completely ignoring them. But this time, he appears to be taking a bit of an opposite approach here, and it looks to be backfiring. He is basically agreeing with the central government, but considering the Osaka government's high shareholder stake in Kepco, he was thinking he could use that as leverage to somehow get his bigger motive through, which is, it still appears to be to end nuclear power in Japan. But this is apparently going to fail. So, by giving in to Tokyo, he thought, okay, Tokyo doesn't have as far-reaching power down here as they do in Kanto and Kanagawa prefectures. So he's probably thinking, I can use my power base here to get what I want. Looks like that's going to be a fight. Now, this whole political thing with nuclear energy in Japan continues to get more and more messy and more heated as political leaders here fight and scrap over political wedge issues, over power plays, to who's going to get credit for doing what. Mr. Hashimoto is scheduled to attend the shareholders meeting, and he says he's currently in talks with other Kepco shareholders in a hope to solicit support for the proposals. Now, I imagine that when this shareholders meeting does go down on June 27th, it is not going to be a rosary, flowery affair. I fully expect there to be a battle. Now, what Osaka municipal government could do, considering that they are the largest shareholder, is try to recall the board of directors. Now, they can't do that on their own. They do need support to do that, which is probably what he's trying to do right now. So I fully expect something like that to happen if the board of directors not only oppose the shareholder proposals, but reject them, which they can. They can totally reject shareholder proposals under the type of corporate structure they have. And due to the unique type of corporate structures which are allowed from the central government here in Japan, they could totally reject those. Now, if they do reject those, again, the main shareholder with support from other shareholders could override the shareholder percentage which the current board of directors have to do a recall. In a recall, they have to basically fight for their job. Another option that they could take is to call a vote. A vote on shareholders. A vote on the board of directors. Which means that would require them to have candidates to replace them. Now, unless they've planned this several months in advance, it's going to be awfully hard to find credible, experienced people to replace the current board of directors. So it'll be difficult to get people in there right now. And we do know just how corrupt the nuclear industry, not only in Japan is, but in the world. So who are they going to get to replace these guys? So their most available option here is to fight it. Try to override them by having the majority of shareholder percentage vote to approve the proposals, which would require them to have a higher percentage than the board of directors have on shareholder stake. So it's going to be awfully complex, awfully difficult to get this through. But just in on a larger sense, this is adds to the enigma that is Hashimoto. We have to remember this is the same guy, which I did a video on, who basically is trying to use power harassment against people in the government who have tattoos. Now, there is a cultural reason for that, but I looked it up, and according to the Japanese Constitution, he totally can't do that. The Japanese Constitution is a highly enlightened piece of document, and if he goes ahead and push power harassment, it's not going to get pretty for him. And he recently has given support to restart the oil reactors. So he's in a bit of a tight position politically here. So to save himself, to save face was extremely important in Japan, especially when you get to politics. He's going to have little choice but to go to this shareholders meeting and fight it out and push these proposals through as hard as he can. If he doesn't get these proposals through, he's going to lose a lot of support from the Osaka people, which he currently enjoys an overwhelming amount, unprecedented amount of support as a political leader in recent history here in Japan. So he's got little choice. He's kind of backed himself into a corner right now. He's going to have to come out fighting with everything he's got. He's going to have to make deals with these other shareholders, get this support quickly, and come together with something. So can he pull it off? That's anyone's guess. He is rather charismatic gentleman and known for being brash and frank on a many number of subjects. Okay, as you can imagine, he's not very well liked by the central government in Tokyo for other things he's been doing in Osaka, trying to create a huge power base in the south of Japan, a city that will rival the power that the central government in Tokyo has, which, you know, that could go anyway. I mean, that could get real volatile. But to refocus at the issue at hand right now is the Kepco board of directors. They, it appears, feel that they have some type of leverage in this situation. Obviously, they don't have support from the Osaka government. So politically, where they're getting their support base is coming from Tokyo. This is coming from Kepco, which I'm sure they're in bed together with each other. There's no doubt in my mind. It's all the nuclear industry, no matter what company it is. And they're currently in that battle to get with the oil reactors. So looks like the board of directors are going to come out all guns blazing. Hashimoto is going to attempt to come out with all guns blazing. It's all going to come down to which side has a majority of shareholder percentage in their favor. And that is still up in the air right now, because shareholders tend to be tight-lipped until the last possible moment. So we'll finish up with that. As always, I do want to thank you very much for tuning in. And if you have not done so already, please go to the Facebook page, as you can see at the bottom of the screen, and please press the like button so you can follow me in all the work I do on Facebook as well. It'll make it extremely more easy for you to spread these videos around. Plus, there are occasional updates and extras that you won't see here on the YouTube channel. So as always, thank you very, very much. And until next time, this is me, Ryan, here in Tokyo, checking out.